Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope that your week is going by very nicely at the perfect pace and that you're enjoying this Wednesday, this hump day, this middle of the week. Me, myself, I have a podcast that I will be appearing on that I'm recording in a little bit. But before that, I wanted to check in with you and to address something that I have now experienced multiple times on consults, and I've seen the same topic brought up in a couple of different Moms of Teens Facebook groups I'm in, as well as a very recent consult that I've had and with one of my clients. So this is something that it's definitely coming up a lot, and so I wanted to talk about it here on this live. So the topic that I wanted to discuss, is it really my fault? And what I mean by that is the situation that's been coming up, and I'm going to use my recent consult as an example, but I will change the names and identifying features to protect the innocent. And what I'm seeing happen, this is regards to divorced parents. And the divorce can be as recent as still in the process of being finalized, even up to 3 to 5 years past. And what my clients or consults are reaching out, they're telling me that my teen is super duper anxious. The teen may or may not be on medication. They're super anxious. They're throwing everything into their schoolwork. They're hyper focused on that. In multiple cases, the teen has been saying that they want to spend all their time at their dad's house with their dad and their new stepmom, and really hurting the mom's feelings. The mom feels very hurt that she feels like, as a single mom, she's doing her best, and it's very hurtful for her children to say, hey, I want to spend all my time at dad's, or I want to spend most of my time at dad's, or hey, I just want to stay with dad's at dad's, period. That's happened in some of the occasions as well. And my moms are very hurt. They're very frustrated. They see how anxious their kid is. They feel like they're walking on eggshells and not wanting to set the kid off. And in some cases, I've even heard this from multiple people, where the kid has either been recording the mom to report to dad, or in one case I actually read in a Facebook group where the kid recorded the mom and called CPS, which is the mom was not even being abusive, but called Child Protective Services and trying to get Child Protective Services to place them with their dad. So this is some serious stuff, you guys. This is some serious stuff that moms that are newly single or that are now single moms because of a divorce, even if it's been a few years, are facing. And so I wanted to address this because what's coming out is the mom is very, very frustrated with the symptoms, with what, the teenager's behavior. And they're just like, why is my kid being such a jerk? And I've had some conversations and some coaching with some of these moms, and really starting to unpack these issues and how exactly this is presenting itself from the teen, and also what the mom is feeling and experiencing herself as a single mom, as a divorced mom, what is coming up for her. And what my moms have been realizing is that their animosity towards their ex, their feelings of betrayal and abandonment that they feel because of their ex leaving them, and in numerous cases it's been for somebody significantly younger, them feeling like they gave up the best years of their life to somebody who's just cast them aside, has allowed them to create this kind of energy that is very, very prickly regarding anything having to do with their ex-spouse, which their children, also being offspring of her and the ex-spouse, are also picking up on this prickly energy. And you might be thinking, excuse me, this sounds a little strange, this prickly energy. What are you talking about? Now, have you ever been someplace and you walked into a room and you knew it just felt weird there, and maybe somebody just had an argument? You didn't know it until you walked in the room. You're just like, ooh, I got to leave this place. That's what I'm talking about prickly energy. You don't realize that you're giving it off, but subconsciously you have these patterns of reaction towards your spouse or your ex-spouse, excuse me, and anything to do with them that is just very, very prickly, very, very prickly. And the prickliness comes from the hurt that hasn't been processed from the divorce, the feelings of abandonment, the feelings of betrayal, the resentment for maybe things that you gave up as a mom to be a wife and a mother. Maybe you gave up career advancement opportunities for your own career because your ex-spouse's career was, the one that made more money, and so your dreams got put on the back burner, or you guys had to move and you left behind a great job and a great opportunity for you in order so that you could lift him up and help him succeed. And now y'all are divorced, you're no longer together. He had an affair and run off with a secretary, or just whatever. He decided to move on and find somebody younger, and you're left with these feelings, all these feelings, and you're just trying to suck it up and be the best mom you can be and put on the happy face, but you can't just cover that sort of thing over. The kids feel it, the ex feels it, everyone feels that prickly energy, regardless of your best intentions to put on the happy face. And that prickly energy, that subconscious turmoil, is actually what is causing the extra anxiety in your children. It's causing them to act out and say they want to stay at dad's, they don't want to be here, blah, blah, blah. And so is it really my fault? Yes, but I don't like to use the word fault because that implies blame and that implies victimhood. So technically, quote, yes, it is your fault, but it's not, because it's not like you're doing it intentionally. You do not realize that the charge that you still hold from the divorce and from the events leading up to it are causing this prickly energy. And so the only way through this process is to process the hurt and emotions that have transpired and that have become trapped in you because of the divorce and the events leading up to the divorce. And when you are free from that emotional charge, you will no longer give out the prickly energy that makes your kids anxious or want to run to dad's and think that my stepmom's so much more fun than you, and all those other hurtful things, because that just adds to the prickly energy. When you feel rejected by your kids, it only adds to the rejection that you felt and that you still feel and are holding on to from your ex-spouse and from the divorce. So what should we do about that, right? If it's not all my kids' fault, and if my kid is in a lot of ways just reacting to me and my energy since the divorce, what do I do? Well, the answer is you have to process those emotions. You have to unpack all of it. You have to be willing to look at all the ugliness and stare it in the face, with help, of course. You have to look at it, process that emotion, and really just be able to process it, feel it, and let it go. It sounds easier said than done, but it can be done. And part of my process that I work through with my clients, my Moon Method roadmap, is exactly what I do for moms in this exact situation. And I can guide you step by step through each phase of healing and allow you to be, number one, be free of all this negative energy and these trapped emotions that are weighing you down and making you prickly to everyone. Number two, you're going to find your own sense of self-worth and self-love that has been missing because of your reaction to the events of the divorce. Three, you're going to find your own voice and your ability to communicate clearly, succinctly, and without charge to both your children and your ex. And in a lot of ways, that's going to make you unshakable. Like whatever he says or he does, you're going to be able to communicate your needs and wants without it becoming an argument or becoming emotionally heated. And because of that, that will dissolve the pattern of, yelling back and forth, disagreeing, not being on the same page, not willing to be on the same page that your ex has been carrying on with you. When you heal that, his side of that will also die away, and you'll be able to actually co-parent in a much, much more cohesive manner, which is better for your children. And therefore, your children's anxiety you will also see melt and go away. So even if you join this program and it's just you and not your teen, you want to work on you and not your teen, or you don't even need to worry about your teen's buy-in, we can fix what is going on with your family, just you and me, one-on-one. How do I know this is possible? Well, I've not only done it for multiple clients, but I was my first client. I was also 5 years ago, that 40-year-old woman who was freshly divorced, trying to find her way in life again. So I know where you are, and I know how to get you to the other side in the quickest, easiest way possible. What took me years will only take you a couple of months, about 3 months probably. And that's what I can offer you. So if that sounds interesting to you, if that sounds like something that you want to learn more about, or hey, if that just sounds like, hey, this is exactly what I need, you can text MOON to 90407 and get a link to my calendar directly to your cell phone, where you can book a call at a convenient time for you. Or if you don't want to go through all the texting stuff, you can just DM me here on Facebook, and we can set a time to talk, and I can share all the details with you. So I wish you a beautiful, beautiful rest of your Wednesday. I am here for you, and I'm honored to be your guide to healing. Have a blessed rest of your day.